Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. Swift Current made the final cut for the combined cycle natural gas facility project after SaskPower considered this Southwest location over 18 other competing sites in the province. 39-year-old Ryan Chamberlain in the dark gray sweatshirt will spend 5 years in jail following a judge's ruling in Swift Current Provincial Court on Wednesday. Following almost 3 years since the untimely death of Henry Jennifer Herbert, a 9-year and 4-month jail sentence has been handed down to the accused involved in his death. The Dr. Noble Irwin Regional Healthcare Foundation is embarking on a major campaign. It's been 4 years in the making since the sod was turned at this site in 2011. Now the official ribbon cutting for the Southwest Integrated Healthcare Facility in Maple Creek has taken place. Hi, I'm Carol Andrews, and welcome to this special episode of Southwest TV News, where we continue on with our countdown of the top 10 stories of 2015. In at number 5, the City of Swift Current and SaskPower have signed a major agreement, bringing big dollars and jobs to the Southwest.
SaskPower will be building, or there will be built, a combined cycle natural gas plant of some 350 megawatts.
The long-awaited announcement was made on Friday by Saskatchewan's Premier Brad Wall in Swift Current City Council chambers. Swift Current made the final cut for the combined cycle natural gas facility project after SaskPower considered this Southwest location over 18 other competing sites in the province. Following ongoing discussions with local municipal leaders and public open houses over the past number of years.
Swift Current has great access to the existing transmission line. The major line running east-west into Alberta runs right through Swift Current. We have a major gas transmission line here, which is very, very good. As the Premier indicated, we've also had lots of load growth in the west and southwest part of the province. Lots of oil and gas here that wasn't there a few years ago, but the demand has really increased for electricity consumption.
The multi-million-dollar project will help SaskPower to meet the demands for more power across the province, while increasing its overall wind capacity.
A natural gas facility allows us to add more wind into the system. So by having a flexible option, we can actually add additional wind capacity beyond what we might otherwise have done. And we're looking at adding another approximately 400 megawatts of wind into the SaskPower grid by 2023-2024.
A project which will also benefit the community of Swift Current and surrounding area from an economic standpoint, with approximately 500 construction jobs and up to 25 permanent jobs once the facility is up and running.
This is a major, major project. The last one that was built like it was in North Battleford, and that was just under $700 million. This will be more than that. We don't want to actually give an estimate because it's a competitive process. We want to see where the numbers come in. But it's significantly more than that. So that's a massive investment into a Swift Current area.
You know, in the last 10 years, we've had $500 million in construction, numbers that we've never seen before. Population has grown for the first time in 60 years, so a project like this is just going to continue to help us in that and keep things rolling, so it's great.
The RFP process will begin for this multi-million-dollar project in the coming weeks, with a target of opening the combined cycle natural gas facility on this quarter section of land northwest of Swift Current by the fall of 2019. "2015 was a big year for court cases here in Swift Current, and a local hockey coach was sentenced to jail." "39-year-old Ryan Chamberlain in the dark gray sweatshirt will spend 5 years in jail following a judge's ruling in Swift Current Provincial Court on Wednesday. Back in April, Chamberlain pled guilty to 3 counts of sexual assault and 1 count of sexual immorality and endangering the morals of a child. The packed courtroom of family, friends, and community members heard the ruling by the judge, as the accused Ryan Chamberlain stood with his head down and shaking in the prisoner's box. Judge Carl Bazin took into consideration the joint submission by the Crown and the defense, along with Chamberlain's previous sexual assault on a 5-year-old boy in BC in 1998, and his then jail term of 4 months. Also, the most recent incidents across southern Saskatchewan, which occurred between September of 1994 and February of 2015, when Chamberlain assaulted 4 youth through his involvement as a hockey, baseball, and volleyball coach. In addition to the 5-year jail sentence, the judge ordered a lifetime enrollment in the National Sex Offender Registry, no access to public parks, community centers, daycares, etc., where youth may be located, not to seek employment or volunteer work where youth under the age of 16 are located, a weapons ban for 20 years after his jail term, and DNA samples on demand for life. As difficult as the case was to be brought before the court with victims and families seeking justice, Judge Bazin stated these 4 youth were extremely brave in coming forward. And the fact that victims of any age are willing to contact the authorities of such sexual crimes should be a deterrent to those contemplating sexually assaulting children in the future. And due to a publication ban by the court on this particular case to protect the youth victims, no further details of the victims' ages, their family's identity, or details of the sexual assaults can be published.
Wishing you and yours a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from David Anderson, Member of Parliament for Cypress Hills Grasslands.
Wishing you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the management and staff of Pinnacle Financial in Swift Current. Wishing the citizens of Swift Current the very best this holiday season and into the new year from Mayor Schaefer, City Council, and staff of the City of Swift Current. Wishing you and yours a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the management and staff of Stuke Pharmacy and Leader. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Gus, Louie, and George at the K Steakhouse and Motel. Book your Christmas party or New Year's celebration today. In at number 3, the ongoing court case involving the death of Herbert's Henry Ginn was finally resolved in June. Following almost 3 years since the untimely death of Henry Ginn of Herbert, a 9-year and 4-month jail sentence has been handed down to the accused involved in his death. 26-year-old Jerry Chu appeared before Justice Timothy Keene in Queen's Bench Court, Swift Current on Thursday. The Crown and the defense submitted a joint submission, along with victim impact statements, which were read aloud by 2 of the victims' nieces, with the following recount of the investigation and details of the case. The case stems back to September 11th of 2013, when family members of 79-year-old Henry Ginn of Herbert notified the Morse RCMP that he was missing. The investigation began, and after speaking with many Herbert residents, it was noted that Henry had not been seen since August the 24th. Then on September the 16th, Morse RCMP were called to the local restaurant by the stepmother of Jerry Chu. She told the RCMP that Jerry had confessed to her of the murder of Henry Ginn. Chu was arrested and taken into custody. He then offered a map and directions to where the body of Mr. Ginn was located. The RCMP then discovered his remains on September the 17th. At the time of his arrest, Chu told his stepmother and the RCMP that he and Henry had had a misunderstanding about a parked car in the back lane adjacent to the 79-year-old's home. The two had an altercation, and Henry was pushed to the ground and died. However, through the investigation by the RCMP, it was discovered that this was not so. That in fact, sometime between August the 15th and September 15th of 2013, Jerry Chu, who was wearing gloves, entered the victim's home late one evening with the intent to steal money. Mr. Ginn awoke and came out into the main area of the home. Jerry and Mr. Ginn struggled, and Henry fell to the floor and died. The Crown further stated that Jerry wrapped Henry's body in construction plastic, loaded the body into his Jeep, and drove near Hodgeville, where he then dug a hole in a ditch off a gravel road, dumping the victim's body inside and covering it with grass. Jerry Chu then went back to the scene of the crime and tried to hide the evidence, which included blood on the carpet, which was later covered with boxes, blood on an adjacent stand, and patio door. Chu then took Mr. Ginn's post office key and collected his mail, applied for several credit cards in Mr. Ginn's name, stole $5,200 in cash from the victim's home, and sold over $1,800 in international coins from the victim's collection to a pawn shop in Regina. Actions following Mr. Jin's death, which the Crown described as cold, callous, and selfish, as the family of Mr. Jin remained in the dark, wondering where Henry was. All due to the fact that the accused required money and was in financial stress. Further aggravating factors in the case were that Chu broke into a senior's home and attacked him in his own residence. Seniors are a vulnerable sector of the community and need protection of the court. The Crown further noted that an autopsy on Mr. Jin's remains could not clearly identify the cause of death due to the advanced decomposition of his remains. In the end, the Crown and the defense asked for the following jail term, which was agreed to by Justice Keene. On count 1, 10 years for manslaughter. On count 2, the break-and-enter and robbery of Mr. Jin's home, 7 years concurrently with count 1. For counts 3 and 4, the obstruction of justice and the indignity of the remains of the victim, 2 years each to be served consecutively, bringing the total jail term to 12 years. That's 32 months already served, or 9 years and 4 months. In addition, a firearms ban for life, a DNA sample to the National DNA Bank, and a victim surcharge of $100. The accused, Jerry Chu, pled guilty to all 4 charges before Justice Keene and offered his remorse to Henry Jin's family, while saying he respected the deceased and understands what he has done is wrong and takes responsibility for his actions. A long-standing case which will finally bring closure to family and friends of Henry Jin and the quaint community of Herbert, as they keep the memory of a gentle and soft-spoken man in their hearts for years to come. The town of Maple Creek is southwest Saskatchewan's hub for holiday shopping and dining, all at a relaxed pace. For your convenience, enjoy late-night shopping until 9 every Thursday throughout the month of December. Maple Creek, the perfect shopping and dining excursion. For more details, check out our website at oldcowtown.ca. In at number 2, a $1 million donation helped kickstart a new campaign for the Dr. Noble Irwin Regional Healthcare Foundation. The Dr. Noble Irwin Regional Healthcare Foundation is embarking on a major campaign, raising $8 million for furnishing and equipment at Swift Current's new long-term care facility. The project, slated as a Welcome Home campaign, will assist the Cypress Health region in providing top-quality care for 225 residents at the new facility, which is set to open next summer. A campaign which has an ambitious timeline of having the money in place by May 1st, 2016. The campaign recently received a major boost with a $1 million donation from the estate of the late Albert Miller, who dedicated the funds to long-term care after his wife Myrtle received ongoing care in a Swift Current facility. A donation which his family is pleased to finally make public.
It's been 7 years since Bert died, and he donated the money, but the health region felt that they should keep it because they knew long-term care, this new building, was in the plans. And I was a little disappointed that there hadn't been any acknowledgement made. Now it's come, and it's really great to think that he's got a neighborhood named after him and the street running by it and park along it. So I'm happy. Bert, I'm sure, up there, and Myrtle will be proud.
An overwhelming donation, which the Dr. Noble Irwin Regional Healthcare Foundation greatly appreciates, as it embarks on its largest fundraising campaign in its history.
There's a huge kickstart to our campaign. I mean, we've announced today, or over the last couple of days, that we're going to embark on trying to raise $8 million, and to have 1/8 of it walk in today, so to speak, and make a dent in that total is a very important day for us.
Thompson further adds that long-term care offers services for everyone, not just the aging population, and plays a vital role in the community alongside of the neighboring Cypress Regional Hospital. And donations of all denominations are greatly appreciated to help reach their goal.
We will talk to people about what we call pledge agreements, which is making the contribution over 5 years, and that staggers receipts for taxation purposes and makes it a little easier.
And as the foundation moves forward on the $8 million campaign in the coming months, donations such as the $93,945 raised from the annual Radiothon will go towards furnishings and equipment at the new Swift Current long-term care facility. A worthy project which Leonard Menzies hopes others will also donate to, as he sees great value in for current and future residents.
Bert's $1 million will help, but certainly anybody that can make donations, help with long-term care, I encourage them.
Once open, the new 225-bed long-term care facility will replace the current 3 aging facilities in Swift Current, offering a more personalized and home-like atmosphere for residents and their families. In the coming months, campaign volunteers will be asking for support from the community through one-on-one meetings and special fundraising events. Further details on the campaign are available from the Dr. Noble Irwin Regional Healthcare Foundation. Our number one story of 2015 takes us to Maple Creek and the grand opening of the long-awaited Southwest Integrated Healthcare Facility. It's been 4 years in the making since the sod was turned at this site in 2011. Now the official ribbon cutting for the Southwest Integrated Healthcare Facility in Maple Creek has taken place. A day of celebration which brought together provincial and local dignitaries for this healthcare milestone.
And I think it really helps to rally the communities around. Everybody knows that we require local communities to come up with 20% of the construction costs and 100% of the equipment costs. And so you really have to present what that vision is going to look like to get everybody to buy in. And certainly there has been an amazing amount of buy-in from this community and the local communities.
The new $49 million state-of-the-art facility brings together all health and long-term care services under one roof, including 24 acute beds, 49 long-term care beds, and 3 program beds, along with telehealth, ambulance services, and more. A key component for the continued growth of this quaint Southwest community.
Possibly it could attract some smaller business, like 20 to 30 people type businesses. They can get families here because we do have the health care. That was a bit of a drawback for anyone that looked before. Families really didn't want to move here when you didn't have a solid health care system here, which we didn't. Now we have it. So, and like I say, we have the education part with the high school and the middle school and whatnot, and recreation. So, we're there now, and I believe that will attract some people and make them more comfortable to move to a small community like this.
And as the dignitaries toured the new facility and interacted with staff and clients, the celebration was one of great pride for MLA Wayne Elhard, who is rounding out his final term in provincial politics.
And Maple Creek's the largest community in my constituency, so I would want to be here. I love this community. It's got tremendous history. There aren't many communities that will put their money where their mouth is as readily and as quickly as this area did for this project. The 4 individuals that kind of spearheaded this project went out and talked to sponsoring RMs and communities over a couple of months and raised $12 million just in virtually no time at all.
Construction of the new Southwest Integrated Healthcare Facility was realized through an 80-20 financial partnership with the province and the community, and 100% funding from the community and other supporters for the furnishings and equipment that will now benefit the residents of Maple Creek and the surrounding area.
On behalf of everyone here at Cypress Health, I would like to extend our best wishes to you and your family during this festive season. This is a time for family and friends to get together and enjoy the spirit of the season. The holidays are a time to reflect upon where we've been and those things for which we're grateful. Our wish for you is that 2016 will bring you great health, happiness, and prosperity. We are looking forward to many positives throughout the coming year. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the Cypress Health Region.
Well, this wraps up this special episode of Counting Down the Top 10 Stories of 2015. I hope you'll join us in the new year as we embark on another exciting year of news coverage here in the Southwest. From all of us here at Southwest TV News, we wish you and yours all the best in the new year. I'm Carol Andrews.